Warning. 9 things you should never receive from anyone forever. Zen Buddhist Teachings. What we receive from others has the power to lift our spirits or cloud our hearts. Have you ever wondered how the things we accept from others can affect our lives on a deeper level? Each object carries a unique energy, influencing our emotions, thoughts, and even our spiritual well-being. In Zen Buddhism, we learn that every item we receive, whether a gift, a borrowed item, or a keepsake, holds the potential to shape our inner peace and harmony. This video will reveal the 9 things you should never accept from anyone if you wish to keep your mind and spirit clear and balanced. Welcome to The Journey of Wisdom. Today, we're diving into an intriguing aspect of Zen teachings: the hidden energies within everyday objects and why some items are best left unreceived. In different cultures, energy is recognized by many names, like Qi in Chinese, prana in Indian philosophy, or mana in Polynesian culture. In Zen, we believe that being mindful of what we welcome into our lives can greatly influence our path to inner peace. Before we reveal the 9 items, take a moment to support our channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement helps us spread awareness and build a community focused on well-being and balance. Number 1. Plants. Plants are far more than decorative objects in our lives. They are living beings with the ability to absorb, reflect, and even shape the energy within our homes. In Zen Buddhism and other spiritual traditions, plants are seen as channels of life energy, growth, and even healing. When we welcome plants into our homes, we also invite their energy to merge with our environment, impacting the harmony and balance within our space. This concept of energy exchange is beautifully illustrated in a story of a family who brought home a vibrant plant, only to notice a gradual increase in tension among family members. Eventually, they discovered the plant had been taken from an environment filled with negative energy, carrying residual energies that subtly influenced their own lives. This story serves as a reminder of the unseen energies that plants can hold and their potential to affect the emotional and spiritual state of our homes. Just as we aim to cultivate positivity in our lives, we must also care for the plants in our surroundings with a mindful awareness of the energy they bring. In various traditions worldwide, plants symbolize different forms of positive energy. Feng Shui, for instance, promotes the use of specific plants to attract prosperity and harmony, while in Native American rituals, plants like sage are used for cleansing and purifying spaces. These practices align with Zen teachings, which encourage us to surround ourselves with sources of positive energy to support our spiritual and emotional well-being. The essence of these teachings is not merely about aesthetics or rituals, but about nurturing an environment that fosters tranquility and growth. By applying these principles to our lives, we create a supportive space for ourselves and those we love, allowing us to thrive harmoniously in our daily routines. Caring for plants mindfully becomes a spiritual practice in itself. Zen teachings encourage us to cleanse not only our surroundings, but also the energy within them. For instance, gently wiping plant leaves with a damp cloth not only removes dust, but also refreshes the plant's energy. Or a light mist of water infused with essential oils such as lavender or eucalyptus can invigorate the plant, enhancing its capacity to hold positive energy. Such acts of care remind us that mindful gestures have a significant impact, reflecting our commitment to maintaining a balanced and vibrant environment. When we engage in these small yet meaningful acts, we align with Zen principles of mindfulness and respect for all forms of life. Another powerful way to cleanse a plant's energy is through sunlight. Sunlight, a natural source of life and purification, replenishes and revitalizes plants, infusing them with fresh positive energy. Placing plants in sunlight for a few hours not only supports their growth, but also purifies the energy in the surrounding space. As Zen teachings emphasize renewal, this simple act of allowing plants to bask in sunlight can serve as a meditative reminder of the ever-present cycles of life, growth, and renewal. Our connection with nature deepens as we acknowledge the benefits sunlight provides, both to our plants and to the energies within our homes. Sound is another subtle yet effective way to refresh the energy around plants. In Zen and other spiritual traditions, sound vibrations are used to break up stagnant energy, inviting renewal and clarity. Lightly ringing a bell or using a singing bowl near your plants can disperse any lingering negative energies, enhancing the space's overall harmony. This act is more than a ritual. It is a mindful moment of connection with our plants, using sound as a gentle reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Incorporating sound vibrations into our care routine deepens our relationship with our plants, aligning us with the Zen principle of harmony. Repotting plants is a practice that symbolizes a fresh start. Soil can accumulate negative energies over time, which may affect a plant's health and vibrancy. When we repot plants into fresh soil, we not only provide them with nourishment, but also cleanse them of any accumulated negativity. Repotting becomes a symbolic act of renewal, allowing the plant to grow and thrive with a reinvigorated energy. This practice aligns with Zen teachings that celebrate the impermanence and continual renewal of life, reminding us that caring for our environment is a path to nurturing ourselves. By consciously refreshing our plants, we reflect our inner desire for growth, resilience, and positive change. These practices, cleaning, misting, sun exposure, sound cleansing, and repotting, are not merely tasks, but acts of mindfulness that transform our homes into spaces of positive energy and spiritual support. By cultivating an intentional connection with our plants, we create an environment that mirrors the peace and clarity we seek in our lives. The Buddha once said, "If we could see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life would change." When we care for plants with this level of awareness, we begin to understand that even the smallest acts of nurturing reflect our journey toward a mindful, compassionate existence. Remember, the objects and living beings we surround ourselves with profoundly influence our lives. Plants, with their unique capacity to absorb and reflect energy, remind us of the significance of spiritual cleanliness. Through these simple practices, we invite harmony and positive energy into our homes, enriching our lives and supporting our journey. Our homes then become more than just shelters. They transform into sanctuaries that uplift and support us, aligning with our spiritual aspirations and promoting inner peace. So, the next time you water a plant or place it by the window, remember that this small act is part of a larger practice of mindfulness and compassion, a practice that brings you one step closer to living harmoniously in a world full of energy, growth, and renewal. Number 2. Jewelry. Jewelry, while often cherished as a beautiful accessory, holds a much deeper significance within Zen Buddhism and many spiritual traditions. In these teachings, jewelry is believed to carry the energy and emotions of those who wear it. Just as physical objects can gather dust over time, jewelry can accumulate emotional imprints, absorbing the experiences, joys, and pains of past owners. This makes second-hand jewelry particularly sensitive to the energies it has absorbed, which can affect the new wearer's emotional well-being. Consider the story of Taro, a man who inherited a ring from his grandmother. Initially, he wore the ring as a precious family memento. But soon after, he found himself experiencing unexplained sadness and anxiety. Eventually, he discovered that his grandmother had worn the ring during a challenging period in her life, filled with emotional struggles and grief. This revelation shed light on Taro's emotional turmoil. It was as if the ring had retained her pain, and by wearing it, he was unconsciously carrying her unresolved emotions. This story reminds us to be mindful of the energies that objects, especially personal items like jewelry, can carry, and how they may influence our lives in subtle yet powerful ways. In cultures around the world, jewelry is seen as more than mere decoration. It symbolizes power, protection, and even spiritual fortification. In ancient Egypt, for example, amulets and necklaces were worn not only for adornment, but to shield the wearer from harm and attract good fortune. Similarly, in Hinduism, certain gemstones are believed to align with the body's energies, offering healing benefits to those who wear them. These cultural practices resonate with Zen teachings, which stress the importance of nurturing positive energy in all areas of life. By recognizing the energy held in our possessions, we're reminded of the Zen principle of interconnectedness, the idea that everything is connected and can influence our inner world. Just as a calm mind fosters a calm life, the objects we surround ourselves with should also reflect the calm and harmony we wish to cultivate. So how can we ensure our jewelry remains energetically clean? Zen offers us practices of purification to prevent any unwanted energy from affecting us. A simple yet effective way to cleanse jewelry is by using water, which is considered a natural purifier. Rinsing jewelry under running water while visualizing negative energies washing away can help reset its energy. For a deeper cleanse, try soaking it in salt water for a few hours. Salt, known for its purifying properties, draws out negativity, leaving the jewelry refreshed. After soaking, rinse it with clean water and dry it completely. This aligns with Zen principles of renewal, emphasizing the release of old energies to make space for the new. Sound is another powerful tool in Zen practices, often used to clear stagnant energy from objects and spaces. Using a singing bowl or a bell, gently ring the instrument around the jewelry to dissolve any lingering negative vibrations. Sound vibrations, which Zen practitioners often use to cleanse living spaces, can work wonders on jewelry as well. Alternatively, placing a piece of clear quartz near your jewelry can support the cleansing process. Clear quartz is revered for its purifying properties, amplifying positive energy, and providing protection against negativity. This gemstone serves as a natural ally in maintaining the purity of items close to our hearts. When we incorporate these mindful cleansing practices, we're not just caring for our possessions, we're also nurturing our well-being. Regularly cleansing jewelry keeps it aligned with our energy, ensuring it continues to bring positivity into our lives rather than unwelcome emotions. This practice aligns with the Zen path of mindfulness and harmony, encouraging us to create a supportive environment that reflects peace, balance, and clarity. Reflect for a moment. What objects do you wear or keep close that may be carrying old or foreign energy? Have you ever noticed unexplained shifts in your mood after wearing certain items? These are questions that invite us to examine how mindful we are of the things we choose to carry in life, not only emotionally, but physically as well. Zen reminds us that living mindfully is about recognizing the unseen connections we have with our surroundings and embracing practices that bring harmony to our lives. By taking these small but meaningful actions, we create a space of healing and positivity for ourselves, allowing every piece of jewelry or personal item to be a source of light rather than a bearer of past burdens. Through these mindful steps, we cultivate a life filled with awareness, peace, and renewal, knowing that every action, no matter how small, contributes to our overall well-being. Number 3. Locks. Locks are far more than mere tools for security. They carry deep symbolic meanings that resonate across cultures and spiritual traditions, especially within Zen Buddhism. In Zen practice, locks represent more than just physical protection. They embody the control of access to our energy and spaces, reminding us of the importance of mindfulness in everything we handle. When we receive or use a lock, we should understand it's not just a functional item, but also a carrier of energy, both positive and negative. Imagine receiving a second-hand lock from a family member or friend. Have you ever considered what energies or experiences that lock might have witnessed? There's a story of a family who moved into a new home and, in an effort to save costs, used old locks gifted from relatives. Soon, they began experiencing inexplicable unease and a series of unfortunate events. It was later revealed that these locks had been used in a house with a history of conflict and distress, and the family started to wonder if some of that lingering energy had transferred to their new home. This is a powerful reminder to approach even simple objects like locks with awareness of their potential to influence the environment we create around us. Zen Buddhism teaches us to be intentional in our surroundings, to keep them pure and filled with positivity, as they ultimately shape our mental and spiritual well-being. Locks, especially, hold symbolic value in many cultures. In some traditions, locks are used in rituals to bind and protect, symbolizing the safeguarding of not only physical spaces, but spiritual ones as well. This aligns with Zen principles, which emphasize maintaining a flow of positive energy in our lives. The question to ask is, what can we do to ensure that our environment remains free of stagnant or negative energy, even from something as ordinary as a lock? According to Zen teachings, it is essential to cleanse such objects regularly. One of the simplest yet most effective cleansing methods involves salt, a powerful agent for clearing unwanted energies. By rubbing salt over a lock and then rinsing it, you can help dispel any negative energy it may have accumulated. This aligns with Zen's value of purification, an act of returning to a state of harmony. Sunlight is another natural purifier that plays a key role in cleansing. Allowing a lock to rest in direct sunlight for a few hours can effectively dissipate stagnant energy, as light is seen as a source of life and purification in many spiritual practices. Additionally, using sound vibrations is a Zen-based cleansing technique. Striking a singing bowl or ringing a bell near a lock helps to release any dormant energies, restoring balance. Have you ever wondered how something as simple as sound could alter the energy of an object? In Zen, even a gentle sound holds the power to cleanse, to retune energy to a peaceful state. Placing crystals like black tourmaline or clear quartz near the lock can further enhance this cleansing process, as these stones are known for their protective and purifying qualities. In numerous cultures, locks are also symbols of protection for our personal space and secrets. They are often used in rituals intended to lock away negative influences, shielding our homes and lives from harm. Such practices go beyond mere tradition. They reflect a deep understanding of the energy our surroundings hold. Through the mindful care of objects like locks, we create environments that support our well-being rather than drain it. Being mindful of the energy surrounding us, even in seemingly ordinary things, aligns us with the Zen approach of living consciously, aware of each element in our space and its impact on our spirit. Every object we bring into our lives, every action we take, has an effect. As Buddha once said, our life is shaped by our mind, We become what we think. By caring for the objects around us, such as locks, and ensuring they are energetically cleansed, we can foster a space that supports our spiritual growth and inner peace. The next time you lock your door, take a moment to think about its energy. Does it contribute to a sense of calm, of protection, or might it hold lingering influences? Small acts of mindful care invite positive energy, creating homes that are not just shelters, but sanctuaries for our souls. This journey of understanding and applying Zen principles in our daily lives transforms our surroundings into spaces of peace and harmony, supporting us as we walk our spiritual path. So remember, even a simple lock can hold meaning beyond its material form. It can be a gateway to mindfulness, a reminder of the energy we welcome or release into our lives. If you've made it this far, you're already taking steps toward a life of clarity and inner peace. Comment below with Zen Path to affirm your commitment to these transformative teachings. Don't go anywhere. There's still wisdom ahead that will deepen your understanding and bring more harmony into your life. Stay until the end to uncover the guidance that can help you live with greater freedom and awareness. Number 4. Mattresses. In Zen Buddhism, even the most ordinary items around us, such as a mattress, hold deeper significance, influencing not just our physical rest, but also our spiritual well-being. A mattress is more than a tool for sleep. It's an object that can absorb and carry energy over time, both positive and negative. In a world filled with bustling energy exchanges, it's essential to recognize how subtle energies in our environment, especially those in our beds, impact us. Consider the story of Iko, a woman who bought a second-hand mattress to save money. What followed was unexpected. Her peaceful nights turned restless, haunted by unsettling dreams, leaving her anxious and drained. She later discovered that her mattress had absorbed the heavy energy of its previous owner, disrupting her rest. This story is a reminder that, like Iko's experience, objects can carry the remnants of past emotions and energies, impacting our mental state and health without us even realizing it. In many cultures, such as traditional Chinese medicine, the bedroom is a sanctuary of healing and rest, where energy should flow smoothly and rejuvenate the mind and body. Zen teachings also emphasize creating clean, positive environments, especially where we sleep, as these spaces significantly affect our mental clarity, health, and vitality. To harmonize the energy of a mattress, simple yet mindful practices can be powerful. Exposing it to sunlight, for instance, is a natural way to cleanse and refresh its energy, allowing sunlight's purifying rays to break up any stagnant or negative vibes. Salt, known for its cleansing properties in various spiritual traditions, can also be sprinkled on the mattress, left to absorb negative energy for a few hours, then vacuumed away, leaving it energetically renewed. Sound vibrations, like those from a singing bowl or bell, can help disperse any lingering energy blockages in the mattress, restoring balance. Additionally, placing crystals such as amethyst or clear quartz around the bed amplifies this positive effect, as these stones are renowned for their ability to purify and protect against negative energies. Incorporating such practices into our routines brings us closer to the Zen principles of mindfulness and harmony with our environment. Taking care of the space we rest in reflects a commitment to nurturing both body and spirit. By caring for our sleeping space, we invite a sense of peace and vitality into our lives, deepening our journey towards spiritual clarity and balance. Just as we take care to nourish our bodies, we should also ensure our surroundings promote well-being. In doing so, we transform our homes into sanctuaries that uplift and support us, contributing to our mental peace and spiritual growth. So, each night, when you lie down, let it be with the assurance that your bed is a place of comfort, safety, and positive energy. Consider the energy your mattress holds, and by maintaining its cleanliness, invite harmony into your sleep and spirit. In embracing this mindful care, we live more aligned with Zen teachings, cultivating awareness that every object in our life has the potential to either uplift or unsettle our journey. By nurturing even the simplest aspects of our environment, we strengthen our inner peace and create a ripple of positivity that extends into all areas of our lives. Number 5. Mirrors. Mirrors are more than just objects to reflect our faces. In many spiritual practices, especially Zen Buddhism, they are seen as symbols of energy and reflection that go far beyond the physical. Zen teaches us that everything in our surroundings holds energy, both good and bad, that can deeply affect our lives. Mirrors, in particular, are thought to absorb and reflect the energy of the spaces they inhabit and the people who gaze into them. This energy could be peaceful or disruptive, depending on the mirror's history and where it has been placed. Reflecting on this idea, let's consider the story of a man named Kenji. Kenji found a beautiful antique mirror at a flea market, an ornate piece that captured his attention. He didn't think twice about bringing it home, charmed by its elegance and unique craftsmanship. But shortly after, he began to feel an unexplainable sense of discomfort. His once peaceful sanctuary felt heavy, as if weighed down by something unseen. Unsettling dreams and a growing sense of negativity filled his mind. It wasn't until he learned about the energy that objects, especially mirrors, can carry, that he realized the mirror may have brought a trace of its past owner's struggles and sorrows with it. In that moment, he understood the significance of cleansing the energy around him, a lesson deeply embedded in Zen Buddhism's practice of mindful awareness. Across various cultures, mirrors are often regarded as portals, not only to see ourselves, but as gateways that can invite unseen energies into our spaces. In Feng Shui, for instance, mirrors are carefully positioned to guide energy flow, with the understanding that a wrongly placed mirror can disturb harmony by inviting stagnant or negative energy. This principle aligns with Zen teachings, which encourage us to live mindfully and harmonize with our environment. So, if a mirror holds so much power over our space, how can we ensure that it remains a source of positive energy? One answer lies in regular cleansing practices. Just as we cleanse our minds through meditation, mirrors too can be purified to keep their energy light and uplifting. A simple yet powerful method is smudging with sage, allowing the smoke to waft around the mirror to dispel any negativity it may have absorbed. Alternatively, sound vibrations, such as the resonant tones of a bell or a singing bowl, can be used to break up and release stagnant energies, leaving the mirror refreshed and revitalized. Salt is another effective way to cleanse mirrors. By sprinkling salt around the mirror's edges and allowing it to sit for a time, we can draw out the negative energy it holds. The salt should then be carefully disposed of, as it now contains the unwanted energy. Crystals like clear quartz or black tourmaline can also be placed nearby to help maintain a clear and positive energy field around the mirror. These practices not only cleanse our surroundings, but also strengthen our connection to the present, reminding us to be mindful of what we bring into our spaces. Consider the last time you looked into a mirror. Did you ever think about the energy it might carry? Often we take for granted the objects we live with, unaware of the subtle influences they have on our mood and mindset. Mirrors, with their unique capacity to reflect and absorb, remind us of the Zen teaching that everything around us is interconnected, influencing and shaping our inner world. When we take steps to care for these objects, we aren't just purifying our spaces. We're practicing compassion for ourselves, creating environments that nourish rather than drain us. Imagine Kenji again, who, after learning to cleanse his mirror, found a renewed sense of peace in his home. Through small actions like these, we can transform our living spaces into sanctuaries of positive energy and growth. So next time you look at your reflection, consider this. What kind of energy does the mirror hold? How might it be affecting your spirit and peace of mind? Reflecting on the energy within our surroundings brings us closer to Zen's core lesson, living with awareness. Every action we take, even in caring for a mirror, becomes a step on the path to inner harmony. By embracing this wisdom, we invite a calm, balanced energy into our homes and ourselves, nurturing a deeper connection to the present moment and creating a life that supports our well-being and spiritual journey. Remember, each small mindful act aligns us more closely with the flow of life, making our journey one of peace and purpose. Number 6. Wallets and purses. In Zen Buddhism, even the most ordinary objects can carry profound meaning, including wallets and purses. They're more than just containers for money or cards. They're believed to absorb and reflect the energy of those who have used them. This energy can either contribute positively to our lives or bring about unforeseen challenges, especially in areas related to finances. Consider the story of a woman named Hana receives a second-hand wallet from a friend. At first, it seems like a thoughtful gesture, but soon after, Hana notices a shift in her financial situation. She finds herself struggling with unexpected expenses and a persistent sense of lack. Eventually, Hana learns about the Zen belief that objects like wallets can hold on to the energies of previous owners, influencing the new owner's life in subtle yet impactful ways. This insight leads her to cleanse the wallet, allowing her to reset its energy and, in turn, open herself to a more prosperous flow of abundance. Could it be that certain objects around us also affect our well-being in ways we may not fully realize? In many cultures, gifting a wallet or purse holds unique significance. It's often customary to place a small amount of money inside a new wallet when giving it as a gift, symbolizing an invitation for prosperity and the unbroken flow of wealth. This practice resonates with Zen principles, which teach that energy should remain dynamic and unrestricted. When energy flows freely, whether in our personal lives or finances, it supports our journey toward balance and contentment. But what if you inherit a second-hand wallet or purse? According to Zen teachings, these items should be purified to release any stagnant or negative energy they may have accumulated. How do we effectively cleanse them? Zen traditions suggest using natural elements like sunlight, salt, and sound vibrations as purifying agents. Placing a wallet or purse in direct sunlight for a few hours allows the warmth and light to dissipate any lingering negativity. Sunlight is seen as a natural, revitalizing force, one that can energize our belongings and support our well-being. Alternatively, salt has long been valued for its ability to absorb and neutralize negative energy. To purify a wallet or purse, you can place a small bowl of salt inside it overnight, allowing the salt to absorb any unwanted energies. When morning arrives, discard the salt, symbolizing the release of what no longer serves you. In Zen practice, this act is more than a ritual. It's a reminder that we, too, have the power to let go of what burdens us. As Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy." By creating this space for positivity, we can choose to fill it with gratitude and prosperity. Sound vibrations offer another way to cleanse the energy of wallets and purses. Using a singing bowl or bell to ring around the item can disperse stagnant energy and create a fresh environment for new intentions. You might even combine these practices with the presence of crystals like citrine or green aventurine, both renowned for their qualities of attracting wealth and prosperity. These crystals can be placed in the wallet or purse, serving as symbols of abundance and positive energy. When we treat the items we carry with care and intention, we cultivate a harmonious relationship with the energy around us. What would happen if we applied this mindfulness to everything in our lives? By incorporating these simple yet meaningful practices, we bring awareness and purpose to even the smallest aspects of our lives. As we cleanse our wallets and purses, we simultaneously cleanse our mindset, inviting abundance and peace into our experience. This aligns with the Zen teaching of living mindfully and honoring the interconnectedness of all things. Buddha once said, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create." Through this lens, the energy of our personal belongings becomes a reflection of our inner state. The next time you reach for your wallet, pause for a moment. Reflect on the energy it may carry and ask yourself, how can I invite positive energy into my life today? By being mindful of the energy we carry with us, both physically and spiritually, we take a small yet profound step toward a life of greater peace, prosperity, and well-being. If you're still with us, you're already embracing the journey toward a more mindful, balanced life. Comment "True Wisdom" below to show your dedication to living in harmony with these Zen principles. Stick around, because the final teachings we'll share are keys to avoiding negativity and cultivating a life filled with peace and purpose. Number 7. Clothing. In Zen Buddhism, clothing represents more than just fabric on our bodies. It embodies energy, intention, and spiritual harmony. In Zen and various spiritual traditions, the clothes we wear can absorb and retain the energies, emotions, and experiences of those who wore them before us. This subtle exchange of energy is often overlooked, but understanding its depth can help us protect and uplift our well-being. For example, think about the story of Imi, a woman who adored vintage clothing. She discovered a lovely dress in a thrift shop that seemed perfect for her style, yet each time she wore it, she felt an unshakable sense of anxiety and restlessness. Only later did Emi learn that the dress had belonged to someone who endured a period of severe hardship. Her experience underscores the invisible power of clothing to carry emotional imprints, which can subtly affect us in ways we may not immediately recognize. This awareness echoes an ancient Buddhist saying, "We become what we hold close to us," reminding us to be mindful of what we bring into our lives, including the clothing we choose to wear. Many cultures recognize the spiritual influence of garments beyond mere aesthetics. In certain African traditions, specific garments are worn during sacred rituals, serving as conduits for spiritual protection and blessings. Similarly, in Hinduism, white clothing, representing purity, is worn in meditation to invite peace and focus into the practitioner's energy. Such practices align with Zen teachings that advocate for bringing positive energy into all dimensions of life, from the spaces we occupy to the clothes we wear. In our busy modern lives, we may often overlook these subtleties, yet by incorporating such mindful practices, we enrich our inner peace and harmony. A well-known Zen proverb says, "The wise grow still with wonder," encouraging us to take a moment of stillness to recognize how even our clothes contribute to our energetic environment. To ensure the clothing we wear nurtures positivity, cleansing practices can be essential. One simple, mindful method involves washing clothes with intention. By visualizing negative energies dissolving away as water flows over the fabric, we can imbue our clothing with a sense of renewal and freshness. Salt, a powerful purifier across many cultures, can be added to the washing water to amplify this effect. Salt has been used traditionally to clear spaces and objects of negativity, and applying it in this context aligns with Zen practices focused on spiritual cleanliness and harmony. In a world full of energy exchanges and emotional interactions, such cleansing rituals become powerful tools to safeguard our spiritual and emotional boundaries. Sunlight offers another deeply natural way to cleanse clothing. When we hang our clothes in direct sunlight, the sun's purifying rays help release any accumulated negativity. Zen Buddhism emphasizes simplicity and natural harmony, and allowing sunlight to cleanse our clothing is an act that connects us to these principles. Just as sunlight is a source of life and vitality for all living beings, it can help revitalize our clothing energetically. This practice also encourages us to step outdoors and align with nature, reminding us of the interwoven connection between our inner world and the natural environment. Sound is yet another powerful medium for energetic cleansing. By using a singing bowl or bell around our clothing, we introduce vibrations that can dislodge and disperse stagnant energy. Sound healing has ancient roots across spiritual practices, and its application in cleansing everyday items like clothing makes the profound accessible in daily life. Additionally, placing crystals such as amethyst or clear quartz in the closet or drawer where we keep our clothes adds a continuous layer of protection. Crystals are believed to hold steady, pure energies that can support cleansing and shield against unwanted influences. These rituals may seem small, but each contributes to creating an environment of positivity that sustains us. Integrating these practices into our lives can make a profound difference. By actively choosing to cleanse and care for our clothing, we engage in the mindful Zen practice of honoring everything that comes into contact with our spirit and space. This attentiveness not only cultivates a cleaner, more positive energy around us, but also aligns us with the Zen ideal of living harmoniously. When we are mindful of our surroundings, even something as ordinary as a shirt or dress becomes a vessel for positive energy, aiding us in our path to spiritual growth. As Thich Nhat Hanh, a revered Zen master, once said, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." This statement encourages us to bring gentleness and reverence into every action, however small. The objects we keep close, particularly clothing, influence our energy more deeply than we might realize. They remind us to be mindful of our spiritual cleanliness, a practice that Zen Buddhism teaches as central to inner peace. When we clean and care for our clothing with intention, we not only invite positive energy, but also create an environment that supports our journey toward mindfulness and well-being. Every time we choose or cleanse an item of clothing, we can reflect on this broader perspective, seeing our actions as steps toward living in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. In a life filled with complex energies and interactions, small acts like these are gentle yet powerful ways to ground ourselves, reminding us of the beauty of simplicity and the wisdom of mindfulness in each moment. Number 8. Spiritual items. It is said in Buddhist wisdom that the things we carry with us, physically, mentally, and spiritually, shape our lives and influence our well-being. This is particularly true when it comes to spiritual items or artifacts that have significance beyond mere decoration. Spiritual items, be they statues, amulets, relics, or symbols, carry with them the energy, intentions, and vibrations of the people and places they have been. Receiving such items without care or clear intention can sometimes invite unwanted energies into our lives. especially if these items are given to us with unresolved emotions or even hidden agendas. This is not to suggest that all spiritual items carry harm, but to remind us that, as with anything powerful, we must approach them with mindfulness and respect. Just as the Buddha taught that our actions and thoughts leave imprints on the world, the spiritual objects we accept or bring into our homes hold traces of the experiences they've been part of. The mind is everything. What you think, you become, as Buddha taught, reminding us that when we are mindful of the energies we allow into our lives, we become guardians of our own peace and well-being. In our modern world, spiritual items are often gifted as gestures of goodwill, but without intention and understanding, these can create emotional or energetic attachments. For example, receiving a statue of a deity from someone can bring a sense of reverence, but if the giver harbors unresolved resentment or has attached their struggles to the object, you might find yourself burdened by their lingering energy. Think of it as adopting the energy associated with that item. It's much like taking on a plant that was cared for poorly. It may look beautiful, but its roots may be weakened. Similarly, worn talismans or amulets might hold the emotional history of previous owners, which can affect your own spiritual energy if not cleansed or accepted thoughtfully. When we fail to recognize these hidden connections, we unknowingly open ourselves to experiences that might disturb our emotional equilibrium. The wise Zen masters advise, do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise, seek what they sought. This encourages us to understand not only the object, but also the journey it represents and the purpose behind it. Accepting spiritual items should come with a conscious acknowledgement of their origin, purpose, and potential impact on our lives. It's a reminder that we are responsible for what we allow into our personal and spiritual space, just as we are responsible for the thoughts we harbor. In this sense, accepting spiritual items without mindful intention is like consuming food without knowing its source. While it might appear nourishing, it could harm us if it isn't pure. For those seeking peace and harmony, this approach becomes essential. We can take steps to ensure that spiritual items do not carry unwanted energies by performing simple rituals to cleanse them, such as placing them in sunlight, passing them through smoke from incense, or simply meditating on positive intentions for their presence in our lives. A well-known Buddhist teaching tells us, when the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. This implies that by consciously allowing only pure and positive energies into our space, we cultivate a joyful and peaceful environment that supports our spiritual journey. In today's fast-paced world, where we are constantly connecting and exchanging energies with others, being discerning about spiritual items can help us maintain clarity and protect our inner peace. We don't have to reject every gift, but we should engage with them consciously as mindful receivers. In doing so, we respect the spirit of the item, the giver's intentions, and most importantly, the sanctity of our own space. In this way, we honor not only the gift, but also the balance and tranquility of our mind and home. Letting this practice become a part of our lives brings us closer to the Buddhist path of doing no harm, doing good, which cultivates compassion, mindfulness, and understanding. Remember, the Buddha taught that our lives are shaped by the energy we invite and allow, so may we be wise and loving gatekeepers of that energy, letting in only what serves our highest peace and purpose. Number 9. The Book. Books have always been revered as doorways to knowledge and wisdom, but in Zen Buddhism and many spiritual traditions, they are also seen as vessels of energy, carrying the thoughts, feelings, and experiences of their creators and readers. Every book is more than just ink on paper. It holds an invisible imprint of the past, carrying the emotions and intentions of those who wrote and read it before. A man named Hero, who cherished collecting old books. One day, he stumbled upon a beautifully worn, rare book at a flea market, and he felt compelled to bring it home. But from the moment he started reading it, an odd unease settled within him, growing with each page he turned. It turned out that this book had belonged to someone who had experienced profound sorrow, and unknowingly, Hero absorbed that lingering sadness. This story reminds us that when we surround ourselves with objects, especially ones as personal as books, we often absorb their unseen energy. Have you ever considered that the books you read may carry energies beyond their stories? In many cultures, books are honored not just as vessels of knowledge, but as sacred sources of wisdom and protection. In Buddhism, for example, sacred texts are regarded with profound respect, holding the enlightened energy of the Buddha's teachings. Similarly, the ancient Vedic texts in Hinduism are revered as channels of divine knowledge guiding one's spiritual path. These traditions echo a Zen understanding of harmony, teaching us to be mindful of the energy within our surroundings, including the energy held by books. To ensure that books remain positive companions on our path, some practices are simple yet powerful. For instance, sunlight with its purifying warmth can cleanse and refresh books. Placing them under sunlight for a few hours recharges their energy, dispersing any negativity they might hold. Have you ever felt how a room brightens in sunlight? The same purifying light can renew the books we cherish. Incense, particularly sandalwood or sage, also serves as a potent cleanser. The smoke of these sacred scents helps to lift stagnant energies. Sound is another powerful purifier. In Buddhist traditions, a singing bowl or bell is used to clear negative energies and cultivate peace. Ringing a bell around a book releases any lingering energies, allowing it to harmonize with its new reader. For those who work with crystals, placing stones like clear quartz or selenite near your books can further cleanse and protect them, as these crystals are known for their purifying properties. Being mindful of these practices is more than just ritual. It's a way to respect the powerful influence of energy in our lives. By tending to the energy of our surroundings, we invite harmony into our space and into ourselves. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." When we care for the energy of our books, we cultivate inner peace, enriching our spiritual journey with clarity and mindful intention. So the next time you pick up a book, think beyond its content and consider the energy it may hold. Are there items in your space that could benefit from a little mindful care? Books, with their rich layers of energy and knowledge, remind us of the importance of spiritual cleanliness. When we take simple, mindful steps to cleanse and care for them, we invite a positive, supportive energy into our lives. By being conscious of the energy that surrounds us, we create spaces filled with peace and wisdom, enriching not just our surroundings, but our inner world as well. Does this resonate with you? If so, remember to live with a mindful heart, for in caring for our space, we honor our own path to peace and wisdom. Thank you for staying engaged. By watching this far, you're showing a true desire to grow and protect your inner peace. Type "peaceful journey" in the comments to affirm your commitment to avoiding these harmful influences. Keep watching till the end to gather the full wisdom that will empower you to lead a more peaceful, fulfilling life. Zen Warnings: 5 influences you shouldn't receive for a balanced life. In our journey through life, we encounter countless influences, some nurturing, others potentially destabilizing. Zen teaches us that while we can't avoid the presence of these influences, We have the power to choose which ones we allow into our inner world. Just as a garden flourishes when tended with care, our minds grow more peaceful and balanced when we discern which seeds to plant and which to let go. The wisdom of Zen calls for mindful selection, reminding us that balance isn't just about adding, it's equally about knowing what to release. This practice becomes vital in a world overflowing with opinions, judgments, and expectations, many of which can obscure our true path if we let them take root. By identifying and letting go of certain influences, we protect our peace, allowing our journey to unfold with clarity and purpose. In this exploration of Zen warnings, we'll look closely at 5 specific influences that can disrupt our inner harmony if we allow them unchecked influence. From unwanted advice to grudges, these are the subtle forces that weigh us down. By becoming aware of their presence, we gain the wisdom to navigate life with more ease, keeping our hearts and minds clear to pursue a path that truly resonates with our own spirit. Are you ready to lighten your load and walk your path with greater freedom? Let's begin. 1. Unwanted advice and judgments. It's easy to get lost in a sea of opinions and judgments, isn't it? We live in a world where advice flows constantly, like a river of well-meaning words, and at times uninvited judgments. Every person we meet, from family and friends to colleagues and even strangers, seems to carry an idea of how our lives should look. And while advice can be helpful, it often comes colored by the giver's personal beliefs, biases, and experiences. Zen teachings remind us that each of us has our own unique path, and the more we allow ourselves to be guided by others' judgments or unsolicited advice, the further we drift from our true purpose and sense of balance. To walk the Zen path is to cultivate an inner wisdom that can sort through these voices, allowing what resonates with our truth to remain while letting the rest pass by like autumn leaves blown by the wind. How can we truly listen to our own heart if we are always listening to the voices of others? There's a Zen story that beautifully illustrates this point. Long ago, there was a monk named Tanzan who was traveling with a fellow monk, Aikido. On their journey, they came upon a muddy road where a lovely young woman stood, unable to cross without soiling her kimono. Without hesitation, Tanzan lifted her and carried her across the road. Aikido was shocked by this and stayed silent until they reached the monastery. Hours later, unable to contain himself, Aikido finally blurted out, "Why did you carry that woman? We monks are not supposed to do such things." Tanzan replied calmly, "I left the woman back there on the road. Why are you still carrying her?" The lesson is clear. Sometimes people carry judgments, expectations, or advice about how they think you should act, often without understanding your deeper purpose. Tanzan knew his own heart and saw his actions as compassionate and necessary in the moment, while Aikido was weighed down by rigid expectations and judgment, failing to see the act for what it was. How often do we carry such weight in our lives, holding on to others' judgments about who we are or what we should do? These influences act like invisible stones in our mind, weighing us down, slowing our steps, and causing confusion about our own choices. The danger of following external advice without question is that it can pull us away from what is genuinely right for us. Zen calls us to tune into our inner compass and remain grounded in our own intentions. And, at times, this means learning to let go of advice that doesn't fit with our values, no matter how loudly or persistently it is offered. It's like trying on a pair of shoes. Only you know if they're truly comfortable, if they allow you to walk freely and confidently. Others may think they're the perfect fit, but only you can decide if they suit your journey. Judgment, when it comes from a place of insecurity or misunderstanding, can be one of the most destabilizing influences. How often do you change direction, lose your confidence, or doubt yourself because of someone else's comment or opinion? Zen wisdom teaches us to filter these moments through a lens of understanding and compassion, not only for ourselves, but also for those who offer the judgments. Often people project their fears or desires onto others because they themselves feel unsure or unfulfilled. A person who has struggled with career success may urge you toward a path of financial stability, or someone who values social status might try to steer you toward choices that emphasize reputation. But Zen reminds us that true peace comes from living a life aligned with our own truth, even if it doesn't align with the expectations of those around us. Think about it. When was the last time you made a choice just because someone else insisted it was the right thing? Did it feel authentic to you? Or did it leave you feeling slightly off balance, as if you were wearing someone else's shoes? Trusting your own path doesn't mean rejecting others' advice completely. It means being selective, holding on to only what feels true to you. Wisdom is not about following a preset path, but about walking with awareness, taking what we need and leaving the rest. Zen invites us to stay curious, to ask ourselves, does this advice resonate with my values? Will this decision bring me closer to peace? Or is it just something that will please others? In the end, the practice of Zen is about embracing life as it is and finding freedom in our choices. When we stop letting unwanted judgments influence our decisions, we free ourselves from the expectations of others. We create a life that is uniquely ours, a path that is as individual as our own heartbeat. Next time you feel pulled in many directions, stop and listen to the quiet voice within. That voice, subtle and gentle, is your guide. It knows your values, your dreams, and your struggles. Let it speak, and let the voices that do not serve you fade into the background. After all, if we do not trust ourselves, who else will? The true lesson here is that your path is yours alone, and while advice can serve as a guidepost, only you can decide where to step. Embrace your journey with openness, but also with discernment, allowing the wisdom of your heart to lead the way. Ask yourself, am I walking my own path, or am I merely following footprints left by others? The answer may surprise you, but it will also set you free. 2. Unkind words and criticisms. Imagine a life where words are just words, where harsh criticisms and unkind remarks float by like leaves in a river without disturbing the depths of your mind. Too often, though, we grab onto these words, clutching them as if they define us, letting them become part of our inner world. When we internalize such negativity, it weakens our self-worth and clouds our view of who we truly are. Zen teachings guide us to approach words, whether kind or cruel, as fleeting sounds that don't need to take root in our heart. Words carry weight only when we decide to hold on to them, and learning to observe them without attachment is an essential skill for living a balanced and peaceful life. In the story of Buddha and the angry villager, there is a lesson on how to meet unkindness with a steady heart. One day, Buddha was teaching in a village when an angry man approached, shouting insults and calling him all sorts of terrible names. Buddha remained calm, unaffected by the man's rage, until the man grew weary and asked, "How can you sit there, unfazed by my anger?" Buddha replied, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man, puzzled, responded, "It would still belong to the giver." Buddha nodded. "Exactly. If I do not accept your anger, it remains yours. This story shows us that we don't have to accept every harsh word directed our way. We can let them pass us by, leaving them with their origin, where they lose their power over us. How often do we let the judgments of others determine our self-worth? Maybe you've had moments where a single critical remark echoed in your mind for days, even though the person who said it likely forgot all about it. Why do we let those words stick to us? What would happen if we approached each negative remark with the calmness of Buddha, letting it stay with its source rather than adopting it as our truth? By practicing this detachment, we're not ignoring or dismissing the speaker, but rather choosing not to let their words define us. Zen wisdom reminds us to be like the steady mountain unmoved by passing storms. When someone directs unkindness or criticism toward you, remember it's their storm, not yours. Just as a mountain is not swept away by a breeze, we too can stand grounded in our own value, aware that what others say or think is a reflection of their own world, not ours. In the end, every harsh word is only a momentary sound. It's our response that determines its influence over our peace. If we choose not to hold on, we prevent unnecessary suffering and maintain inner stability. So, the next time unkind words find their way to you, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, must I accept this gift of negativity? If we each commit to this mindful response, we gradually build resilience. When we practice observing words without attachment, we create a shield around our self-worth, protecting it from the judgments and criticisms that might otherwise shake it. What if, instead of absorbing these negative messages, we treated them as Buddha did, letting them go as easily as they came? The lesson here is simple yet profound. You are not what others say about you. Their words, no matter how cutting, do not hold the power to define your self-worth unless you allow it. Just as we can choose which gifts to keep and which to leave behind, we have the freedom to let go of the criticism that does not serve us. As you move through life, carry this knowledge within. You have the choice to accept or reject every word directed at you. Practice letting go of the remarks that do not align with your true self, and you'll find that life's path becomes clearer and lighter. Letting go of unkind words is not about ignoring others or isolating ourselves from feedback. It's about discerning what deserves to be absorbed and what does not. Just as the Buddha's calm response taught that we don't need to accept negativity, we too can practice this form of mindfulness. In holding our own value, we preserve a balanced mind, grounded and undisturbed, allowing us to navigate life with clarity and compassion. Remember, the next time someone's words feel like an assault on your worth, stop and think, to whom does this gift belong? You might be surprised how much lighter you feel by simply choosing not to accept it. This is one of the great teachings of Zen, a practice of freeing ourselves from the chains of words, standing unshaken and complete within our own spirit. Three, unrealistic expectations. Many of us move through life carrying the weight of others' expectations, often shaping our identities around what others think we should be rather than who we genuinely are. These expectations, set by society, family, friends, or even ourselves, can become powerful forces that distance us from our true nature and create an ongoing cycle of inner conflict and frustration. The Buddha taught that clinging to any form of illusion or attachment, including unrealistic expectations, is a root of suffering. When you allow yourself to be defined by others' visions or ideals, you lose touch with your own present capabilities, overlooking your natural strengths and values in the pursuit of something that is, at its core, not truly you. Zen wisdom encourages us to step back from these external pressures and recognize that each of us is on our own path, unique and unrepeatable. Instead of striving to meet ideals that may be impossible or unsuited to us, we're reminded to cultivate an understanding of ourselves in this moment. As the Zen master Shunryu Suzuki said, "You are perfect as you are, and you could use a little improvement." This seemingly paradoxical statement is an invitation to appreciate who you are right now while remaining open to gentle, realistic growth that is self-chosen rather than externally imposed. To live authentically in a world filled with expectations requires courage and a firm grounding in self-awareness. What if, instead of asking, "Am I meeting others' standards?" you began to ask, "Am I aligned with my own values and purpose?" How would it feel to let go of what others expect and live from a place of personal truth? We're often conditioned to believe that approval and acceptance from others are essential for our happiness. Yet the moment we prioritize others' standards over our own, we begin to stray from a balanced life. Zen teachings remind us that peace lies in our ability to fully inhabit our own lives rather than perform for the world. It's not about rejecting others' advice or feedback, but about filtering it through our own understanding and inner wisdom. When we stop allowing external opinions to dictate our worth, we can embrace the freedom of living authentically. Consider this. Are there expectations you're holding on to right now that don't reflect who you truly are? Zen invites you to breathe deeply, to notice these expectations as clouds passing by, not as permanent fixtures in your life. By letting them go, you make room for the clear sky of your true nature to shine through, unburdened and peaceful. Are there any expectations in your life that you feel might be holding you back from being your true self? Comment number 1 if you're ready to let go of these expectations, or comment yes if you're open to living more authentically. 4. Promises of absolute certainty. When we encounter promises of absolute certainty, we are often drawn to them like a ship seeking the solid ground of a shoreline. The desire for stability is natural, especially as we navigate a world full of shifting circumstances, relationships, and self-identities. But in clinging to the comfort of guaranteed outcomes, we risk disappointment, because life itself is an endless cycle of change, always evolving, always moving. The Buddha taught that clinging to any idea of permanence is a root cause of suffering. Just as the seasons change without fail, so do the phases of our lives. Relying on absolute assurances can be like building a home on sand. The foundations are only stable for so long. To expect the unexpected shows a thoroughly modern intellect, Oscar Wilde once remarked, capturing the timeless wisdom that true peace is found not in rigid expectations, but in adaptability and acceptance. Similarly, the Buddha's words remind us, all conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering. It is only by embracing life's fluid nature that we find true security, a state not built on the unreliable foundation of certainty, but on an inner resilience and readiness to adapt. When we accept the natural unpredictability of life, we free ourselves from the weight of needing to control every outcome. In modern life, we're often bombarded with messages about guarantees, a job offer promising lifelong stability, a diet guaranteeing eternal health, or even a relationship promising endless love without conflict. These assurances can bring temporary peace, but they also create expectations that, when unmet, lead to dissatisfaction, anxiety, and frustration. The more we pin our happiness on fixed outcomes, the more we suffer when life doesn't follow the script. Instead, the Zen path teaches us to see life's uncertainty as a canvas, each moment inviting us to paint something new. Embracing uncertainty is not resignation. It is a bold acceptance of life's full range. It means cultivating a mind that can flow as the river does, moving gracefully around obstacles instead of breaking against them. Lao Tzu expressed it beautifully. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. When we loosen our grip on needing guarantees, we allow ourselves to find balance and joy in the here and now, rather than in a future we can never control. In our quest for certainty, we often overlook the present moment, missing the richness of what is here now. Rather than allowing ourselves to enjoy the mystery of life as it unfolds, we may fill our minds with anxieties about things that may or may not happen. In truth, this search for guarantees robs us of the vitality of being fully alive. By letting go of the need for unwavering promises, we open ourselves to a life of wonder, where the unknown is not a source of fear, but of infinite possibility. As we recognize the impermanent nature of all things, we can approach life's highs and lows with greater equanimity, knowing that just as joys are fleeting, so too are difficulties. This balanced approach nurtures a deeper sense of gratitude and compassion, enabling us to connect with others on a more profound level, sharing in the common experience of life's uncertainties. Remembering the Zen teaching that the only constant in life is change, we come to see that, paradoxically, the only real certainty lies in our ability to embrace each moment fully, without the burden of rigid expectations. By living with an open heart, rooted in the wisdom of impermanence, we cultivate an inner peace that doesn't depend on the ever-changing external world. This approach frees us from the illusion that happiness can only be achieved when life goes exactly as planned. Rather, true contentment lies in our ability to adapt, to meet each moment as it is, and to cherish it as part of the beautiful, unpredictable journey of life. Five, grudges and resentment. Holding on to grudges and nurturing resentment can weigh heavily on the heart, draining energy, disturbing inner peace, and corroding relationships that are meaningful in life. Zen teachings reveal that clinging to past hurts and grievances is like carrying stones that get heavier with time, only slowing down one's journey toward genuine contentment. In the words of the Buddha, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. This powerful metaphor reminds us that harboring resentment ultimately harms us more than anyone else. Just as a clear river can flow freely without obstacles, so can our minds be tranquil when we release grudges and learn to forgive. While it may feel difficult in the moment, forgiveness is the act of freeing ourselves, of unlocking the mental chains that keep us trapped in the past. This freedom does not mean forgetting or condoning someone's actions. Rather, it's a decision to liberate our hearts from the bitterness that blocks our growth. In modern life, where stress is already overwhelming, adding resentment is like pouring gasoline on an already simmering flame. Imagine a scenario where a co-worker undermines your efforts and resentment naturally arises. It's tempting to hold on to that grudge as a form of justice, but in reality, it only hinders your productivity, weighs down your spirit, and distracts you from joy. By embracing forgiveness, we can refocus our energy on the things that truly matter, allowing us to respond to challenges with a clear mind. Zen wisdom shows us that true peace comes not from controlling others, but from mastering our responses to them. Imagine the lightness of being that follows when we decide not to let anyone's actions cloud our minds or disrupt our calm. The practice of letting go also fosters healthier relationships, encouraging compassion and understanding even in difficult circumstances. A Zen proverb states, "Let go or be dragged." This saying highlights that the choice is always ours to either cling to bitterness or step into the liberation that comes with acceptance. In a world that often values retaliation and grudges as signs of strength, choosing forgiveness may seem vulnerable or even weak. However, as we learn through Zen, real strength lies in gentleness and the ability to move forward without carrying the weight of past hurts. Living this truth not only benefits us, but also those around us, as it inspires a ripple effect of kindness and patience in our communities. So next time resentment bubbles up, remember that forgiveness isn't for the person who wronged you. It's a gift to yourself, a path to inner harmony, and a step toward a balanced, joyful life. Through practicing forgiveness, we embody the wisdom of Zen and bring more peace into a world that so desperately needs it. Let us choose, then, to release our grudges and discover the freedom that awaits. Thank you for spending time with us here on the Journey of Wisdom. In today's exploration, we touched on a powerful aspect of Zen teachings, the idea that everything we allow into our lives carries energy and influence. By practicing mindfulness in what we accept, we create a space that supports clarity, peace, and spiritual balance. The objects, relationships, and influences we welcome shape not only our surroundings, but also our hearts and minds. Zen encourages us to honor this truth by choosing wisely and letting go of what no longer serves us, creating an environment that uplifts and nurtures our true self. When we embrace these principles, we become more than passive participants in life. We become mindful caretakers of our own peace and well-being. This journey toward balance and awareness isn't always simple, but each mindful choice brings us closer to a life of harmony, compassion, and inner strength. Imagine your life as a garden. Each object, influence, and relationship is a seed. By choosing which seeds to plant and which to release, we cultivate a space that blossoms with the peace, wisdom, and joy that support our spiritual growth. If today's insights resonated with you, please take a moment to support our channel. By liking this video, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing to The Journey of Wisdom, you help us reach more people who seek a life of awareness and balance. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming videos, where we continue to explore the teachings of Zen and mindful living. Thank you for being part of this journey, for bringing your heart and mind to these teachings, and for allowing us to walk this path with you. May every step you take bring you closer to the inner peace and wisdom that are already within you, waiting to blossom.